ELI5. How are countries like Norway and Switzerland not so densely populated considering the fact that they are portrayed as nearly heaven in all aspects? They're freaking cold most of the year, and they are not very open to immigration. Switzerland, especially, is famously strict with immigration. If you count the vast uninhabitable stretches of jagged cliffs and mountains on the half-frozen peninsula that is Norway, then yes, population density is low. If you consider only like 3% as farmable land and 25% of the population live in one city, the picture changes a bit. Social welfare-oriented policies makes coming in harder. Education is free, meaning the workforce is highly educated. So it's hard to compete. High wages causing housing to be expensive because loans are affordable. Strict labor laws compounds this, making jobs more secure, making loans less risky and low interest. Everything is highly regulated, immigration being no exception. I'm from Canada, and in the mid-2000s, some Norwegians came over to study. They immediately bought the flashiest cars they could afford at the time. Mid-2000s, so Benz SLKs, etc. While in their early 20s, because they said that it is the one time they can afford to get a car like that. I may have misremembered the actual amounts, but they said that a Corvette or similar would be about the equivalent of $200,000. They also partied a lot, even compared to Canadian early 20s, and I realized why later. I visited them in Oslo a few years later, and when beer was about $7 per pint in Canada, it was a quiv of $17 in Oslo. I quickly realized that whatever it cost in Canada, Toronto area, at the time, it was 2.5x in the Oslo area. So they partied and went out all the time. BC drinks and going out was less than half of what it cost in Norway. While they were making Norwegian pay, it was a subsidized study program. They also said their income tax rate was phenomenal compared to Canada, which isn't super high, depending on province, but generally higher than the US. So while they make a lot in theory, a lot of it goes to the higher cost of living and taxes. I live in Iceland. We used to fly to Florida and buy clothes when I was younger. Buying 6 Levi's trousers would save so much cash in Florida that it would pay for the plane ticket. This sounds like something a parent would tell their kid when they're teasing them. We're going to Florida. Kid. Wow, are we going to Disney World? No, we're going to buy pants.